Today we're going to be talking about trigonometry, very specifically three trigonometric ratios. Now trig is all based around right triangles, so these ratios that we're going to talk about are only apply to triangles that have a 90-degree angle in them. And we're looking at the three sides of the triangles and the ratios of one side to another. The three ratios that we're going to be working with today are sine, cosine, and tangent. Now sine is the ratio of the side opposite an angle to the hypotenuse of the triangle. I'll explain more in just a second. Cosine is the ratio of the side adjacent to an angle to the hypotenuse of the right triangle. And tangent is the ratio of the side opposite of an angle to the side adjacent to an angle. And what we've got is a little word here, phrase, to help us remember these three ratios. Pretty common. A lot of people use it. It's called SOH CAH TOA. SOH CAH TOA. That'll help you memorize these. That stands for, the SO is sine is opposite over hypotenuse. The CAH is cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And the TOA is tangent is opposite over adjacent. You gotta make sure you say it right though. SOH CAH TOA. All right, so let's start identifying some ratios here. So we're gonna find each trigonometric ratio. So the sine of angle A, the cosine of angle A, the tangent of angle A, and then we'll do the same for angle B. So SOH CAH TOA is what we're dealing with here. So remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. The side opposite of angle A is side A. The hypotenuse is obviously across from the right angle, C. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is the side touching angle A, and hypotenuse is always across from the right angle, C. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. Opposite was A. Adjacent means touching, is B. Okay, now let's do the same thing for angle B. Again, the ratio doesn't change. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Now the side opposite of angle B is side B. And the hypotenuse is always C. That's never going to change. The cosine is still adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent, though, the side touching angle B is A. And the hypotenuse is C. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So opposite was B, adjacent was A. Now if we take a couple seconds here to look, you're going to notice that the sine of angle A is the same as the cosine of angle B. And the sine of angle B is the same as the cosine of angle A. And you also might notice that the tangents of A and B are reciprocals of one another. Instead of A over B, this is B over A. Okay. So let's put some actual numbers in here. Here's a very common right triangle, 3, 4, 5 right triangle. We're going to find each trigonometric ratio, and then we're going to round to 3 decimal places. So for angle D, well, we're going to use SOH CAH TOA. I always like to kind of scribble that down real quick. For angle D, this is the hypotenuse. It's never going to change. For angle D, though, this side's the opposite side. This side's the adjacent side. So we're going to do opposite over hypotenuse, 4 over 5. And for cosine, we're going to do adjacent over hypotenuse, 3 over 5. And for tangent, we're going to do opposite over adjacent, 4 over 3. And then we turned each one of those into decimals. Opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, opposite over adjacent. Let's do the same thing for angle E. Now things change a little bit when we're talking about angle E, and I'll color code this. Now 3 is the side opposite, and 4 is the side adjacent. So for opposite over hypotenuse, it's actually 3 over 5. Adjacent over hypotenuse, cosine, is 4 over 5. And opposite over adjacent is 3 over 4. So these ratios change depending on which angle you're looking at. Well, the ratios are always the same. It's opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, opposite over adjacent. But which side is opposite and which side is adjacent changes depending on which angle you're looking at. Let's do one more. Okay. SOH CAH TOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. 29 is our hypotenuse. So let's start with angle G. That would make 21 the opposite, 20 the adjacent. So opposite 21 over hypotenuse 29. That is about 0.724. Adjacent 20 over hypotenuse 29. That's about 0.690. And opposite 21 over adjacent 20 for tangent is exactly 1.05. Now remember, when we're looking at angle H, things are going to change. 20 becomes the opposite, 21 becomes the adjacent side. So opposite over hypotenuse would be 20 over 29, which is about 0.690. Remember, it's equal to the cosine of angle G. Cosine of H would be adjacent 21 over hypotenuse 29, which is about 0.724. Remember, that's equal to the sine of angle G. And tangent would be opposite 20 over adjacent 21, which is about 0.952. Okay, and that's all we're doing for right now, is just identifying the ratios. In the next couple of lessons, we'll actually use these ratios to find missing sides, kind of like we use the Pythagorean theorem to find missing sides. So we'll talk about that more in our next lesson. But for right now, that's it. And if you need to rewatch anything, rewatch it. And I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll try some of this.